Alright guys, thank you for watching. Quite a lot to get through in the video today. Great news if you are after a PS5, as reports suggest PS5 US shipments have skyrocketed by 400% increase against last year. We have Sony planning to break records for 2023 to 2024 by aiming to sell 30 million PS5 units. We also have the God of War PS5 Bundle. Rumours of a PSVR2 Rifle Dock, which just sounds absolutely insane. Haven Studios wants to push game development to the cloud. And we have Death Stranding 2 rumours, which just won't go away. As usual, the links to the articles are down below in the description. So let's take a look at the first piece of news. PS5 US shipments rocketed by 400% year on year in September. So according to MST Financial Senior Analyst David Gibson, Sony Interactive Entertainment has increased PS5 shipments in the US by 400% year on year for the month of September. With God of War Ragnarok coming out in less than 1 month's time, Sony will want to flog as many PS5s as possible. So it's just as well shipments are on the up. As Gibson notes, Sony will no doubt put a lot of inventory to accompany the launch of Kratos' latest outing. Sony revealed during its latest financial briefing that the PS5 has shipped 21.7 million units worldwide, which is impressive considering the ongoing shortages that have plagued the system and the industry as a whole since 2020. The next piece of news ties in quite nicely with what we've just been discussing, as Sony is planning to break records by aiming to sell 30 million PS5 consoles for its next financial year ending 2023, which is March 23 to March 24. Despite launching at the tail end in November 2020, demand for the PS5 continues to keep the console out of stock in many locations around the world. Nearly 2 years after release, there are folks out there who still are not able to get their hands on a PS5. Thankfully, reports suggest that Sony will soon be shipping a lot more systems. Sony is reportedly aiming to ship 30 million PS5s between March 2023 and March 2024. The claim comes from Insider Gaming's unnamed source, which states that Sony has aimed to sell 18 million consoles through the year ending 2022 and will look to increase that to 30.5 million in the year ending 2023. To help with production, Sony will allegedly be phasing out the two current versions of the PS5 and will replace them with a single unit. Now this is a rumour that they're going to replace them with a single unit that comes with a detachable disk drive. This would in theory at least help Sony hit that 30 million target for the next financial year. I don't think eager gamers who are still waiting for a new system will care how many Sony manages to sell. They just want one. They just want to get their hands on a next-gen PS5 console. Sony's making one final big push in 2022, with PS5 stock significantly increasing in the US and ahead of the holiday season. And tying nicely into the next part here, Sony obviously selling 30 million PS5 consoles. This is going to really help them. So we have reports of a God of War Ragnarok PS5 bundle, which will go on sale when the game launches in November. And of course, God of War is a system seller. Let's make that clear. God of War Ragnarok is a system seller. So you bundle that into a console, it's off the shelf anyway. So a God of War Ragnarok PS5 bundle has been revealed ahead of the game's November launch. It was first revealed in a 30-second trailer posted to the official PlayStation Twitter account. Unfortunately for those expecting something other than the plain white system featured in every other PS5 bundle, there's only going to be disappointment. The God of War Ragnarok PS5 bundle includes the PS5 disc version with a standard controller and a digital version of the game. Now for some, it will be disappointing to learn that the God of War Ragnarok PS5 bundle doesn't include the fancy limited edition controller that was revealed last month. Not only is the controller the standard white version, the console is also just as plain looking, which is quite unsurprisingly given the previous PS5 bundles. users on Recent Era expressed their disappointment and surprise at how there are no limited edition console or faceplate designs. Star Blue said that, I guess this generation we won't get any PS5 limited edition consoles. And Sullivan stated, surprised that they aren't doing limited edition faceplates yet. So that's just two kind of examples of people who are disappointed, but there's many more. There's thousands that are disappointed that the bundle actually doesn't look like a bundle. You know, it needs to have a little bit more something unique. So I'm sure others will be happy at the chance to save a little bit of cash picking up the console and the bundle game as a pack. With the game going gold last week, it's just a matter of weeks now. What we're talking, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before it comes out? It's a shame the God of War bundle doesn't come with, say, custom faceplates for the PS5 or little maps of the game and the game world, or even a metal disc case for the game, even though the game is digital. You know, something nice that you can collect, or even the God of War controller and charge a little bit more for the bundle by throwing that in there. I think that would have been amazing. I think Sony have missed a trick here with not having something custom for the God of War bundle. But overall, look, it's a great deal. It's great news for Sony, and it's not just for Sony PlayStation, but great news for the gaming industry in general, as it looks like those supply constraints are definitely easing, and those shortages now are hopefully going away. We're finally starting to see console availability for most gamers this coming holiday season. That's great news. I think we can all celebrate that, right? Moving on to the next piece of news. We may be about to get a whole bunch of peripherals for the PSVR2, and the first one being a rifle dock. And these are rumors, right? So the article goes on to say a PSVR2 Rifle Dock concept has been revealed by a peripheral manufacturer. The peripheral manufacturer, called Virtual Rifle System, has posted some concept art for a rifle-shaped PSVR2 dock, suggesting we may be getting some sort of spiritual successor to Sony's excellent aim controller for the original PSVR. The PSVR2 will utilize the brand new Sense controllers that incorporate a wide range of features such as haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. So there's not much more room for a new aim controller. However, the concept for the rifle dock peripheral does give us an idea of what might be possible. For those of you who are familiar with the Meta Quest 2, you will probably recognize the concept as being very similar to what's available for that device. So it shouldn't be too hard to produce one for the PSVR2. Sony hasn't announced a concrete release date for the PSVR2 yet, but has confirmed that it will start rolling out in early 2023. The more I hear about the PSVR2, the more I get excited for it. I just hope we get to play a bunch of great games and new games as well, new IP in an incredible new and immersive way. And by the way, this peripheral sounds absolutely fantastic, and I'm probably the kind of guy who will probably pick it up anyway. So whatever peripherals we're going to get with it, I'll probably get it, so long as it's available on day one. Imagine playing a Call of Duty or a Battlefield game, or revisiting a game like, you know, imagine a new Killzone game or a shooting game, you know, The Last of Us, where they take out the guns and things. Imagine playing that with a peripheral. That's going to be fantastic. So more excitement and more to look forward to really for the PSVR. We seem to be getting new bits of information every single week. Anyway, moving on to our next article, and this goes on to say that PlayStation's Haven Studios wants to push game development to the cloud. So Haven Studios hopes to revolutionize the way games are made. As one of the newest acquisitions by Sony, the developer is working to create a server-based approach to game development that will take advantage of the cloud. In theory, this will allow designers to change, let's say, a level in a game and have it be visible in real time without needing them to download a different game build for every iteration and version of the level or the game. Cloud-based game development will be like altering a Google document. PS5 lead system architect Mark Cerny, who is working with Haven Studios, explains in an interview with Axios that This new cloud-based system is akin to making a Google document, but instead of a document, it's a level in your game. Typically, game developers need to corral themselves around a single monitor to compare notes, spend a lot of time on coordination and communication. While this new cloud-based system is not ready yet, it will effectively allow collaborators to see each other's changes with more immediacy. When it's done, the hope is that it won't just help Haven Studios, but the entire PlayStation ecosystem and the games industry at large. About a third of developers at Haven Studios are dedicating to cloud-based development tools or innovations with artificial intelligence and machine learning technology, according to co-founder Jade Raymond. They are looking into AI-generated assets and cloud-based technology and cloud-based telemetry checks that will analyze performance with each playtest, streamlining development so that a creator can implement new ideas at a much faster pace. Over the last 2 console generations, we've seen AAA games move into the live service model, in part due to how long it takes for a game to be feature complete. Haven Studios itself is working on a multiplayer game and a live service project. So anything that cuts down development time will hopefully help gamers come out. Well, actually, they'll help games come out faster and help gamers because we'll be able to access those games faster. And it will also be less of a buggy mess at launch. It sounds like a great way to make changes in real time. And if this helps the developers make games better and less buggy, then it can only be a good thing, right? So moving on to our final piece, we have Death Stranding 2 rumors continuing after Sony heads meet with Hideo Kojima. So rumors of the existence of a new game in the Death Stranding franchise have continued to gather momentum over the past few weeks. Players are getting excited about Death Stranding 2 once again after Hideo Kojima posted a photo of himself at Kojima Productions with Sony Interactive's Eric Lempel and Craig Malanka. There's a very good chance that there is a new game set within the universe, but whether it will be called Death Stranding 2 is uncertain. Protagonist Sam Bridges, the actor's Norman Reedus, suggested the game was starting active development back in May, while a recent leaked Sony Interactive Entertainment document also named the game, as well as several others. With Kojima meeting up with PlayStation's head of worldwide marketing and consumer experience and the vice president of global marketing, it sounds like there is definitely a collaboration of some sort with Sony in the future, even if it's not Death Stranding 2. Some people may also see a significance in the trio posing with Ludens, the Kojima Productions mascot. While Ludens wouldn't look out of place as a character from Death Stranding, the mascot only made appearances as minor product placements with very little influence over story elements. Whatever is actually happening at the studio, we're sure to hear about in the future. It's remarkable how Sony or Kojima have not come out yet to confirm Death Stranding 2 is coming out, when it's probably the worst kept secret right now in gaming. Okay guys, that's going to do it for the video, but thank you for watching. Do me a favour and hit the bell, like and subscribe buttons, and I'll catch you on the next video.